Welcome to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company, a community affairs program from West Virginia University Institute of Technology in Beckley, hosted by Dr. T. Ramon Stuart, president of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, working to make a difference in Southern West Virginia. Guest opinions expressed on this program may not represent the opinions of West Virginia University Institute of Technology, Southern Communications, or its sponsors. And now, with today's program, here's Dr. Stewart.
Welcome to Our Communiversity Today. I'm Dr. Ramon Stuart, president of WVU Tech here in Beckley, and I'm so thankful that you chose to be with us today as we explore Our Communiversity. I like to remind listeners every week that I believe that the community is the university and the university is the community. And I think that is so important because as we look at Southern West Virginia, we think about where we are, but more importantly, we envision where we think about going. It's very, very important for us to come together to ensure that all ships rise with the tide. Now, as I say on the show all the time, college is not for everybody, but for those that college is for, I want you to know that there's an opportunity for you to have access to a high quality but affordable education. And affordability is so important because we have different mechanisms by which we can employ to make college and make the university affordable. So today with us is Malik Wynes, who is the Student Financial Services Manager at WVU Tech, and he's going to talk about his role in making sure that anybody that wants to go to college can afford to go through college. So as we explore this topic, as always on Our Communiversity Today, we want to ask and answer two questions. Simply, why not us? And why not now? So right after this break, we'll be back with more Our Communiversity Today on News Talk WWNR.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride at Pendleton Community Bank. Our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again, we're visiting with Malik Wynes, who serves as the Student Financial Services Manager at WVU Tech, and we're going to talk about making higher education affordable. Malik, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. I see the smile on your face, and, you know, I always remark about our guests being in studio and how pleased they are and the things, and I think that's a sign of people loving what they do. But Malik, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you from? How'd you get here? And where you going to?
So I'm originally from Summers County. I still live there. I came to WVU Tech in 2018 as a undergrad student and completed my degree in 2022 in business management. From there, I went on to Marshall University and completed an MBA program. And right now I'm in a PhD program at Liberty.
Okay, so you're a learned man. You come from Summers County, and I think it's funny in West Virginia Just like I always say, I'm from the free state of McDowell County. We never say the city. I'm from the booming metropolis of Welch, but you say you from Summers County, but you come to Tech. What brought you to Tech?
Well, my original plans was to go to Marshall University, but I came and toured Tech, and just Tech being so close to home really sold it for me.
Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time when I'm talking to parents or students, stay close, go far. And I think the journey that you've taken from baccalaureate education or 4-year education right close to home, and then as you go and get your graduate and then your doctoral work, to go to the different levels. And I think that is when higher education is working best, to go from us to Marshall. Now, I really would have preferred you to do your doctorate in the state of West Virginia, but we won't hold it against you this time. So in that particular journey, again, starting as a college student in 2018, you navigated through the COVID-19 pandemic. You graduate in 2022, but already in 2026, you're the manager of student financial services. How did you get there?
So I started out in the financial aid office as a federal work study student. And then from there, I think financial aid just stayed in my heart, and it was something that I wanted to continue to do. And then when my former supervisor left, she left me with a great deal of skills and knowledge that made me able to take over her position.
Yeah. And, certainly I got here in January of 23. And so you had just graduated college by the time I got there, basically. Yes. But you've kind of been on the fast track for, movement and administration and stuff. And you talked about, your previous supervisor. What were some of those skills that you learned to be able to grow and to develop almost expeditiously and pursue higher levels in your career?
One of the most important skills I think I have learned was to how to have difficult conversations with people, because dealing with money and financial aid, most of the time the conversations can be very meaningful, but sometimes we have to have those difficult conversations. Sometimes maybe this isn't the right time, or maybe we need to have conversations about how we're going to find resources for you to afford to attend here.
Okay. And, I think it's very important having crucial conversations, being able to work with people through bad news, but also let them see that there are opportunities to grow. And that opportunity came, you talked about federal work study. What is federal work study?
So federal work study is a federal program that allows students to work at an institution or a community partner that has an agreement with the institution they're attending. So they get a allotted money for the year, and they can work that money up until it completes through a paycheck every 2 weeks.
So sounds like the best of both worlds. You actually go to college, you study, or you go to your classes, but then you go to work. And when you're not doing an actual task, you get to study at work.
Correct.
And so what does work study pay, or how many hours can a student work?
So at here at Tech, we start at $10 an hour for a work study student.
Mm-hmm. And so there are multiple levels?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can actually get up to $20 an hour.
Oh, wow.
Depending on,
as a college student.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you may burn through your money a little bit quicker, but there is opportunity for you to make that much.
Okay, let's talk about that. So I want to go to college. I just heard Malik Wynes talk about work study, and how do I know if I'm eligible for work study?
Well, first thing, you can check your WVU portal, but if you're unable to navigate to your portal to find out whether you have work study or not, you come visit the hub, which is financial aid and student accounts, and we can actually pull up that information for you.
Yeah, but I even before that, that's you get the information out of the system or whatever. But that very, very critical first step that every student regardless of whether or not they're eligible for financial aid or whatever, every student should take one very important step. What is that?
Complete their FAFSA.
FAFSA. What is FAFSA?
It's the free application for federal student aid.
Okay. So now, we go in and some people, I'll be engaged in conversation and people ask me, is college worth it? Or people say people are wasting money on it. But when you look at FAFSA and you think about what it does it just give money away?
No, it opens up opportunities for students to be able to grow their, go through their education journeys and grow their knowledge.
Okay. And so you talk one thing about work study, and we'll get to that, but this FAFSA, let's demystify this. I hear people afraid that the IRS is coming or something. What does the FAFSA do?
The FAFSA actually is simplified now than it has been previously. So you input your information, and no, the IRS is not going to come after you because it automatically pulls all the information from the IRS. So after you completed the application, they process it and then they send it to the school, and then the school can see what you're actually eligible for in aid.
So what kind of information is part of the FAFSA process?
So your personal information, like your name, date of birth, your mailing address and physical address and things like that. And if you're under 24, you're still considered a dependent student, your parental information would have to be provided.
Okay. And so what if I'm in a situation, I've been reading some about foster care. You have people adopted or people may be estranged from their family members. What happens if I want or need to provide that type of information, but I don't really have relationships with the people that have the information?
So the best thing is to reach out to the school that you're wanting to attend, and they can walk through that process with you because it can work several different ways. If you've already completed the FAFSA but you still need to make changes, you would make those changes with the institution you're going to, and when we would reduce some of the information that was on the FAFSA. Now, if you're going through the FAFSA, there are some options as you complete the application to select those kind of events, and it may require you to do some verification at the institution.
Okay. Verification of things like what?
Just to verify that you're, orphan or ward accord, or, you don't have any relationship with your parents and things like that.
Okay. And so when you talk about the FAFSA, and obviously you've talked about the benefit of, having it shows your access to different funds, both free and we'll get in the loans and different things like that. How difficult is it to complete the FAFSA?
It's not difficult at all.
What's the most challenging thing that you hear from time to time?
Probably the most challenging thing I have heard is maybe getting the contributor information or parental information on the FAFSA. Sometimes parents are unable to kind of navigate the website as easy as the students, but other than that, it's a pretty simplified process.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in studio again with us, Malik Wynes. We're going to take a short break, so stay tuned to News Talk WWNR for more Our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. Again in studio is Malik Wynes, and we're talking about how he and his office work to make college affordable for young people and all people at WVU Tech. But Malik, one of the things before break, we were talking about the FAFSA, and you know, it is certainly the key to making higher education affordable. Ideally, when should somebody complete that process?
As soon as it comes out on October 1st of every year.
And so from October 1st, but I don't have my taxes and stuff on October 1st.
Well, that's why they considered prior year.
Okay. So before you get that big raise and different things like that, you want to get. Now, one of the things that is big about the FAFSA, it generates this really expected family contribution. It takes into the prior year and that kind of stuff. Tell me what expected family contribution is. And, you know, in higher ed, we use all these acronyms, EFC. Tell me more about EFC.
So EFC is just pertaining to what the FAFSA and with your tax data, what can be considered to, from your family that they can use to kind of help you pay for college. It's a new term now, is student aid index, but it's essentially the same thing.
Okay.
So it considers your parents' income, and then it considers the student's income too. So if the student works, that could actually, information would be used when calculating that number.
Okay. And so when you go through and you calculate the EFC and you get the calculations from the FAFSA, you know, I've been looking at it in West Virginia, we have more than 250,000 people that have some college but have not completed a degree. With individuals, adult learners, people 25 and above, are they eligible for to complete the FAFSA and get aid?
Yes, everyone is eligible to complete the FAFSA and get aid as long as you're a U.S. citizen. Yep. Or non-U.S. citizen that is eligible through the green card or some other type of status. But for adult learners, some of those individuals can actually qualify for some of the federal grants and things that students that just graduated high school qualify for.
Okay. So that's good to know that for the population in this area that want to explore returning to finish their degree, there are options for them too. So, you know, our listeners are going, everybody's motivated from 18 to 80, you know, they're ready to go and get that degree. They complete their FAFSA and everything. You get the results of what's been processed by the federal government or whatever. What then can you do? What kind of resources then can you provide from the FAFSA?
So once we get the FAFSA, we look at the SAI information, which is EFC, and then we take that.
There they go with those acronyms, people.
And then we consider, what aid programs that the students are eligible for, whether that be through the federal government or the state government. Some students are eligible for some of the state grants and scholarships that are out there.
So let's look at those two levels. What are some of the federal grant opportunities?
So most commonly, the grant opportunities are the federal Pell Grant and then the Supplementary Education Opportunity Grant.
Okay, so the Pell Grant, now Supplemental Educational Opportunity. Tell me more about that.
So that's a grant, depending on what institution you go to, some may utilize some of their federal work study money, and they can actually have the ability to convert that over into the federal Supplementary Education Opportunity Grant.
Okay. And so you talked about state grants, the state of West Virginia working to help educate citizens. What type of grants are available there?
One of the main ones is the West Virginia Higher Education Grant. Students don't have to actually apply for that separately. It's automatically considered based off of the SAI information that the state gets from the FAFSA.
And so these particular grants, you get the FAFSA, you get some kind of the EFC or SAI or SIA, I don't know, all of these acronyms and stuff. Do you then have to petition for the grants that are available, or are they automatic?
No, the grants that we kind of went over, they're automatic. Once you complete the FAFSA and the agencies receive the information, you would be automatically considered.
And so when you look at these particular grants, let's start on the state level, the higher education grant that you talked about. What's the maximum level for that?
$2,400 for the year.
$2,400 for the year. And then when you look at the federal levels, like the Pell Grant and different things, is there a maximum or a cap on those?
Yes. So the Pell Grant is $73.95 a year.
Okay. So you put those two together, $73.95. Let's just make that $74, and then another $24. That's $9,800. Tuition and fees at Tech is probably about $11,500 or so. So in that particular scenario, if my math is mathing, you're only about $2,700 away from actually being able to totally pay your degree.
Correct.
Okay. So when I talk about accessible, high quality, but then affordable, now $2,700 to go from $11,500 in a year down to $2,700 or $1,350 per semester, that's kind of winning.
Yes.
Okay. But the reality is that $2,700 could be $2,699.99 more than what somebody may have. How do you close that gap?
Well, some students may be considered for the WVU Guarantee Grant, which covers the remaining tuition and fee costs. And that students that have a adjusted gross income of $65,000 or less would be considered for that.
So there are other options and opportunities that go in. What about scholarships? Can we glean scholarship information through this FAFSA process?
Yes. So when a student completes an admissions application, they're automatically considered for one of our merit-based scholarships called the Climb Higher Scholarship. And that can give you up to $4,000 a year, depending on your GPA and if you have taken the ACT or SAT.
All right. Again, if my math is mathing, if you were $2,700 shy, you perform well on your ACT and different things like that, you're eligible for institutional scholarships too, up to $4,000. You could be getting a refund of about $1,300 a year to go to college.
Correct.
Money that you can use to buy gas. Gas is still pretty high, people.
Yes.
To buy gas and groceries and things. So, when you go through and you hear people or you meet people and they're looking at their bank account and the month is running out later than their paycheck and different things, but you can present them with these options and opportunities. What is the visceral reaction?
We have a lot of students that have kind of got teary-eyed when we tell them that you're actually going to get a refund for both semesters attending here. And then there's others that their parents are with them and they're just full of joy because they thought that they were going to have to take loans and other things out to try to help their children afford school.
So let's talk about loans, okay? Obviously, let's go back to that example where there was a $2,700 gap. And, we here in the WVU system and here specifically at WVU Tech, we are working diligently to make sure the cost of education is affordable as possible, and also attainable. But you do get into some points where your heart, you don't have money to support it. So loans is an option that the FAFSA will expose you to. Tell me about the loans.
Yes, so all first-time freshmen are eligible for up to $5,500 in federal student loans. Now, depending on the SAI information, some of that may be subsidized loans or unsubsidized loans.
So subsidized, unsubsidized, 6, 7, whatever. What does this mean?
So subsidized loans, the federal government actually pays the interest while you're in school, so you don't have to worry about that interest capitalizing when you go into repayment. Unsubsidized, the interest starts accruing on it as soon as the loan is dispersed.
Okay, so and is there a higher cap for unsubsidized than subsidized? Or?
Yes. You can only be eligible for, I do believe, up to $3,500 in subsidized loans per year.
Real quick before we close, you're talking about some people getting teary-eyed. What's your most memorable moment helping somebody pay their bill?
So probably a year and a half ago, I was working with a student and his mother. And so we were going over the figures, and I think she had looked at the wrong tuition fees, maybe for a different school. And so when she was estimating her costs, she was really thinking that her and her husband weren't going to be able to afford for her student to come here. But after I went over everything with him and let them know that he actually qualified for our Climb Higher scholarship, she wanted to jump out of her seat.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, Malik Wynes in studio with us. We're going to take a short break, so stick with News Talk WWNR as we close out this edition of Our Communiversity Today.
Discover WVU Tech right in your backyard. With 6 ABET accredited engineering programs ranked among the top 100 for engineering and nursing nationwide, WVU Tech offers the best return on investment in West Virginia. Our small, supportive campus is home to high-demand programs in fields like hospitality and culinary, chemical forensics, and the only 4-year construction management degree in West Virginia. Learn more about all the exciting things happening at Tech at wvutech.edu today.
If you want a real cool website, I'll tell you what to do. Call them cats at Cucumber and they'll build a site for you. Our people are so friendly and our updates are the fastest. All it's gonna cost $100 plus taxes.
These cats build, host, and update for just $100 a month.
Oh yeah!
Find out how at 304-250-0123 or at cucumberandcompany.com.
Bank with purpose and Golden Bear pride. At Pendleton Community Bank, our WVU Tech Affinity debit card does more than make purchases. It makes a difference. Every swipe supports the William Bill Benn Student Success Fund, helping WVU Tech students facing financial hardships stay on track to achieve their dreams. Show your school spirit and help shape the future, one transaction at a time. Visit yourbank.bank to get started today. Pendleton Community Bank, here for students, here for community, here for you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Well, welcome back to Our Communiversity Today. I want to thank our guest, Malik Wynes, who serves as the Student Financial Services Manager at WVU Tech, for sharing not only his time, but also his talent. And that talent is very important because I like to call Malik the rainmaker. He's the man that knows how to work with you and work for you to find ways to make high quality higher education not only accessible, but most importantly, affordable. And I think for our listeners, that's so important, whether it's your price of gas, your mortgage interest, or just the ability to put food on your table, clothes on your back. Things are more expensive. But one of the things that is not growing in that way is your ability to go through and get a quality education. It starts with the FAFSA. It starts with the FAFSA. And when you do that, the people like Malik will meet you where you are, but help you go places you never dreamed of going. So please visit WWNRradio.com for additional information about financial aid and how you can help build our communiversity today for a brighter Southern West Virginia tomorrow.
You've been listening to Our Communiversity Today, sponsored by Pendleton Community Bank and Cucumber and Company. a production of West Virginia University Institute of Technology and Communiversity partner, Southern Communications in Beckley. For more on this program and contact information, visit our website at wwnrradio.com.